Okay.
All right, folks, joining me now is SureVest CEO Rob Luna. Another what I call happy warrior. In fact, you've been that way throughout 2020, right? This whole ordeal, you've kind of come on and you've always had this sort of resolve, right? And now I know you're sifting through the ashes a little bit. And I like that because we all do that. We all want to know what's the broken down name, what names are down with the overall market. But the question is always, how do you determine, like, you know, you go through there are these big time names we all loved. Everyone used to own them. Some people still sadly do at these elevated prices. How do you determine which ones are going to come back the most?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question, Charles. And I think, look, at the end of the day, as an investor, you want to be balanced. And as bad as a lot of the stock market looks right now, I was looking at some of our dividend stocks the other day, and a lot of those are up on the year as a portfolio of 4%. On the flip side, looking at some of our technology stocks, they've been decimated. Look at the Cathie Wood's ARK portfolio. It's down over 60%. But you were just talking with Ed, Charles, about the bearish sentiment that's out there. Look, the more negative things get, the longer it lasts. It's like a coiled spring. Those names that are beaten up the most, 60, 70%. I've been doing this 25 years, almost as long as you, Charles. Those are the names, as bad as it feels, that you have to start buying right here. If you go to safety, you won't be rewarded.
And by the way, you look really great. I thought you were 25 years old. When you say ARK, I mean, do you say that in public? I mean, listen, let's face it. The Cathie Wood fan base has kind of been decimated. You're still somewhat on board. But, you know, and I think obviously there's some names like DocuSign had a pretty good earnings report. Stock came out the gate pretty strong today. But that's still, isn't that, is the risk still pretty high there? Would you say it's still more elevated than if you went, for instance, for a consumer staple name?
You know, I think maybe in the next 2 to 3 months, absolutely. I think people are going to still gravitate towards those dividend-paying stocks that they feel comfortable with. But look, Charles, we're talking about the economy. I see the economy getting weaker over the next quarter, 2 quarters. It's just really now you're seeing layoffs, you're seeing real estate prices go down. But we both know that the stock market and the economy don't go hand in hand. The stock market started declining over a year ago. We're just seeing the economy now. The same thing's going to happen on the upside. So while you might be safe for a month or 2 months, most investors should be praying for the next 12 to 24 months, and these are the types of names you have to be in if you want some upside.
Yeah, we've got some of your names on the board, but I know you also like Restoration Hardware. I got to tell you, this company, their CEO gives like the most candid calls. I love his calls. We're going to try to get him on this show. And last night he said this. He says, we think our stock is undervalued today, but then he added, I think business will get worse before it gets better. So you're buying the stock right now. Is it under the notion that the market is sort of understands that business is going to get bad? That part of the equation is already built in. And the other part of this about business getting better is now you start to get in ahead of that actually happening. Is that what you're doing right now?
Yeah, I mean, this stock, Charles, is an absolute blue chip longer term. The company's, as you said, great management, great products, great fan base, and the stock's been beat up 50% or so. So it's not like that's not being priced in. We're seeing real estate slow down. That's why the stock was down 50%. But a day like today where you saw inflation come out hot, things where a name like this should have been beaten up, and it was early in the day, that's up about 3 or 4%, I think, right now. So this is a name, again, 12, 24 months, Charles, that I think people should be buying here.
Yeah, full disclosure, I've got subscribers in it too. I like the risk reward. I always add the asterisk though, or the caveat. It's very volatile. It ain't for the faint of heart. All right, Rob.
Absolutely.
Have a great weekend, my man.